How many footballers actually live up to their potential? It is a different thing to dominate in the youth competitions in the academy and making it in the men's football after signing a professional contract. Many young players start their senior careers with a lot of hope and bright future ahead of them, but their light just dims as time goes by, and only a few get to play at the highest level in football. But what really happens to them? Is it the injuries, bad luck, or it's just too demanding to play on a high level in men's football? These are the players who have failed to live up to their potential. Hodson Odoi. From Bayern Munich bidding £70 million, to joining Nottingham Forest for just £5 million, it's unimaginable how Odoi's career has gone, especially after being the jewel of Chelsea's academy. Odoi's career has been hampered with injuries effectively derailing his development. After his breakthrough season in 2018, where he shone in the Europa League campaign that Chelsea would end up winning, the following season would be the beginning of his issues with injuries. He suffered an Achilles injury that sidelined him for 5 months. After a strong comeback from the injury, Bayern Munich would bid £70 million to sign him, but Chelsea rejected that bid. His season would be brought to an abrupt end again after a hamstring injury and a reoccurring Achilles injury. This injury problems meant that Odoi never got to nail his position in Chelsea's first 11, and he would start warming up the bench frequently. When he got the chance to play, he was been played out of the position as a wing-back, especially under Thomas Tuchel, who loved to play a back-3 system. This would really slow down Odoi's development as a young winger who was still trying to learn his game. Trying to get his career back on track, Odoi went to Bayer Leverkusen on loan under Xabi Alonso, but his inconsistent performances saw him lose his place under Alonso. He returned to Chelsea before he was sold to Nottingham Forest for just £5 million. Injuries have lowered Odoi's ceiling, and he is unlikely to become an elite-level winger many predicted he would be. His move to Nottingham Forest might help him get the minutes he needs to try and go back to the level he was before all the injuries. Another player that football lovers wish they could have seen his full potential is Eden Hazard. Probably one of the most skillful dribblers after Messi and Neymar, and once touted to win the Ballon d'Or, Hazard's talent just went down the drain after joining Real Madrid. Eden Hazard moved to Real Madrid for a whopping €115 million in the summer of 2019. This was after having a very successful career in the Premier League and at Chelsea, winning multiple Premier League titles and the Europa League. Real Madrid had lost Cristiano Ronaldo to Juventus the previous year, and Hazard was seen as the signing that was going to revolutionize Real Madrid. But 5 years later, Hazard isn't at Real Madrid. In fact, he announced his retirement from football after he was released from his contract by Real Madrid at only 32 years. Hazard played a part in his failed move to Real Madrid. The winger was irresponsible, failing to look after himself, but he was also a victim of a recurring ankle injury which limited him. He showed up to training overweight after his big money move, and this caused a lot of concerns among Real Madrid fans about his commitment. Hazard has always been known as a player who loved enjoying football and expressing himself on the pitch. Some of his former teammates describe him as the worst trainer they have seen, but that was just Hazard. We will never know what he could have achieved if he stayed fit and committed himself on his fitness. Dele Alli is another name that elicits a greater sense of frustration in many football fans. He took the Premier League by storm at just 19, becoming one of the most highly rated midfielders in the world, but now his name is rarely heard among football lovers. At just the age of 21, he had amassed more goals and assists than each of Cristiano Ronaldo, Frank Lampard, Steven Gerrard, Paul Scholes and David Beckham had at the same age in the top flight. This just showed the massive potential and talent that Dele Alli had. In the 2018 World Cup, he scored in England's quarter-final win over Sweden, and he played every minute of their last game against Croatia in the semi-finals, where England lost. After the World Cup, things went left for Dele Alli. He had the worst season in a Tottenham shirt. His season was full of injuries and disciplinary issues, and he finished on just 5 goals and 3 assists. In his last season at Tottenham, Dele Alli did not score a single goal in the Premier League for the first time, making only 15 appearances. He struggled to find his form, and he left for Everton in 2022 on a free transfer. Many people hoped that this was the move that Dele Alli needed to kickstart his career, but that was not the case. Frank Lampard, the then Everton manager, couldn't help him revive his career, and he was sent on loan to Besiktas in Turkey. Things in Besiktas didn't go well either. Dele Alli continued struggling in football. Within a day of returning to Everton from his loan in Besiktas, the infamous picture of Dele Alli surrounded by giant bottles of nitrous oxide surfaced. Being in possession of the laughing gas is not illegal, but any hope that football fans had for Dele Alli's return faded away. Dele returned to Everton and his decline just continues, and many fans are forgetting his presence in football. Jesse Lingard is another player who didn't get to fully exploit his massive potential. Sir Alex Ferguson once said, "Jesse Lingard is going to be some player," back in 2012 when Lingard was only 19 years old. Ferguson was very right for saying this. Lingard could play in multiple positions, he was fast on the ball and his work rate off the ball was very high. After multiple loan spells at Leicester, Birmingham, Brighton, and Derby County, Lingard was ready to break into Manchester United's first team. He showed some good moments while playing under Louis van Gaal and during Mourinho's time, but after the 2018 World Cup, Lingard began regressing in his development. His career was filled with injuries and inconsistent performances. He failed out of favour under Solskjaer, and Ralf Rangnick never seemed to trust him either. It was time yet for another 6-month loan at West Ham. Lingard had a good loan spell under David Moyes' coaching and many thought he may have found a team where he could settle. West Ham tried to sign him after the good loan spell, but United were not looking to sell with only 1 year remaining on his contract. Lingard ended up running out his contract and leaving Manchester United on a free. He then signed for the newly promoted Nottingham Forest for 1 year, becoming their highest paid player. Lingard did not score or assist in his 17 appearances for Forest in the league, and he was released by Forest at the end of the season when his contract expired. He went on to be a free agent for a long time before finding another club. He struggled to find a club that could pay his high wages, and he even sacked his agents for he was not impressed with their work. Currently Lingard is playing for the South Korean side FC Seoul. Who are some other players you think we did not have the opportunity to witness their potential? Comment down below. Like and subscribe for more videos like this.